Shortly after the Super Bowl ended and Peyton Manning was raising the trophy over his head, we reached out to our expert, Tim Colling, to get a sense of what ads hit a home run and which ones bit the dust. Here's Tim Colling, 580 WIBW.
I always kind of judge it by how I feel it's going to make an impact.
What makes a good commercial, either radio or TV?
One that's obviously going to catch your attention. That's what they're all going for the Super Bowl ads. But ones that speak to the consumer that are going to make them remember who that was at the end of the commercial. I watched it with a group of friends and family, and some of them had loved the Esurance commercials where they're passing the football around. But at the end of the commercial, none of them knew who it was. So Esurance did a great job of dragging you in and having you watch a commercial, but a horrible job of branding it, because half the people in the room who loved the commercial had no clue what it was for. 3 of the people I was with thought it was for a car dealer.
At what point do we lose interest or forget who is bringing us the ad?
I think what they do in these ads is they spend all that money trying to make it memorable, but there's no frequency. They're paying, $5 million, the last I heard, filming the Super Bowl, but it's a frequency of 1. So, of course, a lot of the Doritos commercials that are the funny ones, my 14-year-old son and his friends were here, and they're like, oh, yeah, we've been seeing these all week on YouTube. So they do a good job of that. But they're not, I think if they would be able to do something with more frequency, that would be better. But Super Bowl, you really can't do that inflated cost of each ad.
Did you see one commercial or maybe 2 that said, wow, that really works, and whoever wrote it gets it, and whoever produced it gets it, and whoever came up with the concept really gets it?
I did. Some of the ones that stand out to me that might not stand out to others, I loved the Jeep commercial, and it was a Jeep. There are several Jeep ads, but this one in particular was a great one that just showed still frames of people through the years and their Jeeps. I thought that was really impactful. Of course, my favorites, I love the Avocados in Space, which was actually early on, maybe even before the first kick. I love the Ridgeline Sheep commercial, the new Honda Ridgeline, where the Sheeps were singing Somebody to Love. Kevin Hart commercial with Hyundai, I think some of them had that as the number 1 commercial. And what I really enjoyed was the Super Bowl babies. That was the NFL itself, and they did different versions of that throughout the game. That really made an impact. I also like the Audi commercial with the astronaut, the Starman commercial.
Does a company need 60 seconds to make a good impression?
No, not really. It depends on what you're doing with it. I think some of the ones I saw were probably closer to the 60 or 30-second variety. But yeah, it just depends on what you can make an impact in 30 seconds. Depends on if you have a story to tell. The Starman commercial probably needed to be. It was a 60, and that was perfect for it. The Kevin Hart commercial with Hyundai, that told a story. That was hilarious. And actually, I was sitting with my 10-year-old daughter when that one came on, so I told her, "Yep, that's what I'm going to do when you start dating." So she was too thrilled.
Now, do you believe that one ad can make or break an entire year's budget?
Yes. I would have to look back. There was a commercial probably a good 6, 7, 8 years ago. A new startup internet company, web-based company, blew their whole annual advertising budget on one commercial. While it was a good commercial, nobody ever saw it again. Nobody ever heard anything about it. It was in a setting where people are looking for good commercials, but they're not paying attention to them 100%. So, and that company went under. Then again, there's the companies that built off Super Bowl, like actually one I was very disappointed in their commercials tonight were the Budweiser commercials. I thought the Budweiser Party commercials, Bud Light Party, that was on my list of disappointments. There was another one with Budweiser, I believe it had the horses in it, but it was so detached from what they use, the sensitive commercials that they usually do, that I didn't think it made an impact. So to me, Budweiser got an F on the evening.
And you would give top grades to who?
Top rates, the Doritos are always fun because they actually have consumers make their commercials, which I love that idea. I think it's fun. The ultrasound was a great one, I believe. Now, I thought the Mountain Dew Puppy Monkey Baby commercial was a little wacky, but saw social media blowing up about it, and my 14-year-old son and his buddies that were here thought it was great. Like I said, my favorites, the Avocados in Space. I like the Jeep, the Ridgeline with the sheep, Super Bowl babies, the Kevin Hart Hyundai, the Audi Starman. Snickers, Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if too many people saw that one. It was also early on in the game. One commercial, Budweiser commercial, that I did like, and a lot of people that were here liked, was the Helen Mirren Straight Talk, and it was directed towards drunk driving. It was well put together, but it didn't have a strong tie-in to Budweiser, even though she's sitting there with a bottle in front of her. So there was also a big